Hello everybody, welcome to PROFIMAS Databases. So in today we are going to talk about or discuss about how to build your own operating system. Actually developing a software and actually developing the operating system is one of the great projects that you can ever see. So today we're gonna talk about or discuss about how to build your own operating system. A simple way I can say like Linux is also built. Linux is also an operating system, and I love Ubuntu much, and I highly recommend Ubuntu. And let's move further from more slides. So let's come to the second slide, which says some softwares. So we require some softwares. So let me open the pen section. Okay, so we need to get some software. So in software we require operating system, a text editor, common tools that I will talk about this common tools later, and a programming language. These are the few programming language, only this much. I highly recommend C, C++, assembly language. And if you want to use like if you have already learned C sharp, or you have already done the Microsoft development, so you can use the C sharp also, but I don't recommend C sharp. And a Python, I am still working on Python, that we can build using Python, because Python is somehow another programming language that I don't think so that it will boot as a bootable thing. But if you think that the Python can also work, you can just have a try, but don't use the like .py file. Just creating a file and renaming with the .py file and executing it, and just texting any object onto it, and the object come over when you execute it, not like that. Okay, so finally we are talking about the operating system. So the operating system, I highly recommend Ubuntu, because Ubuntu is a one of the Linux distribution, which is actually the most uh, best ever distribution ever. I like Ubuntu very much. I don't recommend you like trying on Windows, or trying on Linux Mint, Linux Arch, or many other distribution like Fedora. Don't try any other OS. Please try in Ubuntu. Only size around 2 gigabytes only. You can have it and try your building your own operating system in Ubuntu, because Ubuntu is the one of the best ever uh, operating system. You can do anything. And a text editor, and I highly recommend the text editor like Kate for building your operating system, and a Sublime Sublime Text, or Microsoft Visual Studio Code, or Atom. You can choose any of them, but make sure that the actual text editor is basically you can just tell like it's more satisfy for you. And we also need some common tools. I will also talk about this common tools later. And what is inside some common tools? If you are starting to be beginning with to create an operating system, you can understand common tools like Docker, or Docker, and assembly language. This is very much important that you need to learn assembly language to boot into your PC. Actually, uh, you can use the Docker in common tools for simplifying the NASM, to install the NASM, or not, all the NASM is what an ASM is. The assembly language, this is the assembly language, not a ASM language. This is the sorry, this is the assembly language, not a ASM language. And NASM is compiler of this, and we need also compiler. The compiler like C, and C like MinGW, mean GW, C and C++ mean GW, assembly language NASM, C Sharp Visual Studio, and Python, Python only. And I highly recommend to use Ubuntu because Ubuntu is one of the best ever operating system. If you don't know about Ubuntu, how Ubuntu is, uh, take a try. If you are using Microsoft Windows, don't worry, install the Ubuntu in your virtual desk, virtual machine, and if you like it, your decision. But in Ubuntu we got a terminal, and in terminal we can do anything. Let's move further with the import, how which thing we want to import. So importing, we need kernel and a driver. What a driver is and what a kernel is. Kernel is basically that kernel is actually written in assembly language, and kernel understand how to boot your PC into your operating system. Actually, you also know as B boot, like legacy, and sorry, E FI. So kernel will actually consist of some boot files, that the storage device that has been flashed by it, that already knows that where this boot file located, and kernel helps inside it. And we need some drivers. Mostly commonly, you know, a driver written in C programming language, so I highly recommend C programming language, like your mouse will work fine. And then we required more things, that what can you add to your own operating system. So basically this is a part one, and in the second part we will talk more about like kernel and driver software. This time I am not talking much about kernel and drivers, but in second part I will talk further about what is a kernel and what is a driver. In the second part, this is a basic thing that I wanna tell to you. So more, you can add a start button, obviously, a settings, a web browser, a control panel, and you can add many more features. This time I am just telling this much only. Don't think that I will uh, not go further in this detail. This is only a part one, and in part two we will discuss about kernel and drivers. So that's it in this video. Until next time, it's me, Prince Gupta, co-founder of PROFIMAS Databases. Thank you.